You did a kind thing this morning. You read something online, something with a soft green logo and a lot of feelings in it, and you poured your cat a bowl of the new stuff. The bag has a leaf on it. The bag is very proud of itself. Watch what happens next. Your cat walks over. It lowers its head. It takes one long sniff of your good intentions. Then it sits down, looks up at you, and waits for the food to arrive, as though the food has not already arrived, as though the bowl in front of it is a clerical error you will surely correct. You think it's being fussy, adorable even. Let me settle this for you before you spend another cent. You cannot make a cat vegan.
Not shouldn't, can't. We are obligate carnivores, every cell of us tuned to one fuel. And that pretty bag you bought is a starvation diet with a sticker on it. I'm going to show you exactly why, layer by layer, until you can never unsee it. Let's start with the word, because the word is not an opinion. It's a classification, and somebody wrote it down on purpose. Open the National Research Council's Nutrient Requirements of Dogs and Cats. This is the dense reference book the people who formulate your cat's food actually consult, the one with the numbers in it. Notice that dogs and cats share the title and then immediately go their separate ways. The dog gets called an omnivore. We get called something else. Obligate carnivore. Obligate.
It isn't a preference we developed. It's a requirement we cannot opt out of. The way you cannot opt out of breathing because you've decided air is overrated. And the body wrote the verdict before any book did. Look in your cat's mouth, if it lets you, which it won't, but pretend. There are no flat grinding molars in there. No millstones for mashing grain. Every tooth is a blade set on a hinge built to shear meat off bone and swallow it in strips. Then follow the food down. A cat's gut is short, stubby, a rush little tube built to flash process a fresh kill and move on. Your gut is long and patient, a slow fermenting factory that can wring nutrition out of a salad over many hours. Ours can't. We never built that factory because we never planned to need it. The teeth and the tube are a confession signed at the species level. The diet was decided long before you got involved. Here's where it stops being a lifestyle and starts being a fire. Morris and Rogers at the Freeline Nutrition Lab at UC Davis spent years mapping how a cat actually runs on the inside. And they found something almost rude in its single-mindedness. In your body, the enzymes that burn protein for energy have a dimmer switch. Eat a lot of meat? They crank up. Eat a salad? They ease off, and your body politely switches to burning the carbs instead. Sensible. Frugal. Our protein-burning enzymes have no dimmer switch. They are bolted to the wall in the on position, running hot at full output whether meat is coming in or not. We are a furnace built to incinerate protein around the clock, and nobody installed an off button because in the life we were designed for, protein never stopped arriving. So picture the bag with the leaf on it. The protein dribbling in from peas and lentils is not enough to keep that furnace fed. The furnace does not shrug and wait. The furnace turns around and starts feeding on the house. It burns your cat's own muscle, breaks down its own body to keep the fire lit, quietly, from the inside, while it sits in the kitchen looking perfectly serene. And here's the part you'll love. Listen, there is a $60 bag of the correct meat-based food 8 feet away, the one I want, the one that would put the fire out. Your cat strolls past it to scream at the fridge. We have impeccable taste and not 1 ounce of gratitude. Remember that. It'll matter later. Now we get to the things your cat can't build at all, no matter what you pour in. Take vitamin A. You don't eat vitamin A, not really. You eat carrots, sweet potatoes, all that cheerful orange stuff stuffed with beta-carotene. And your clever liver snips that beta-carotene in half and assembles its own vitamin A on demand. You are a tiny vitamin factory. Congratulations! Your cat is not.
The conversion machinery you take for granted, the enzyme that turns plant pigment into the real thing, we simply don't run it at any rate that keeps a body alive. The nutrient profiles in that NRC reference spell it right out. A cat needs pre-formed vitamin A, already finished, the kind that only comes pre-made inside another animal's tissue. Liver, mostly. The organ meat the wellness blog told you to be squeamish about. Pour an orchard's worth of beta-carotene into a vegan cat, and the deficiency keeps right on widening because the factory was never there. And vitamin A is not decorative. It runs the eyes, it runs the lining of every organ, it runs the whole reproductive system.
Listen to it, and the vision goes cloudy. The coat goes to ruin. The body quietly loses the ability to make more cats. So that's 2 strikes against the bag now. The furnace that eats the house, and a vitamin your cat physically cannot manufacture. Hold both of those. The next one is the strike that exposes the whole label as a magic trick. There's a fat your cat needs called arachidonic acid. You make your own from the plant oils in your dinner. A quick chemical edit and done. In 1975, in Nature, John Rivers and his colleagues published the autopsy on that hope, and the title alone tells the story. The inability of the cat to desaturate essential fatty acids. We are missing the edit. We can't convert the plant version into the animal version. Full stop. It has to arrive already finished, and it's only finished inside meat. Which finally lets me detonate the word on the front of that bag. 32% protein. Sounds generous. Sounds like plenty. That number measures weight. Nothing more. It tells you how much protein-shaped matter is in the bag, and absolutely nothing about whether your cat can use a gram of it. It's like buying a car by the pound. 1,000 pounds of car, you'd say. That's a real car. Sure, if the 1,000 pounds is engine, not if it's 1,000 pounds of sand poured into a car-shaped mold. Plant protein, to a cat, is mostly the sand. The amino acids are in the wrong shapes. The fats can't be finished. The building blocks don't fit our slots. You can pour a tank of kombucha into a gas engine and call it 32% liquid, and you'd be telling the truth, and the car still won't start. Good enough protein isn't a softer version of the right food. It's a number on a bag, doing a job the number can't do. Up to now, I've shown you slow ruin. Here is where one missing molecule starts killing outright. And it took the entire pet food industry a stack of dead cats to notice. The molecule is taurine. You build your own taurine without thinking about it. Listen, barely make any, so we have to eat it, and it's found almost nowhere except in animal tissue. Plants have essentially none. In 1987, in Science, Payan and Rogers at UC Davis connected a quiet epidemic of dying cats to exactly this. Cats were collapsing from a heart condition called dilated cardiomyopathy. The heart muscle stretches thin and floppy, like an old balloon blown up one time too many, until it can't squeeze hard enough to push blood, and the animal drowns in slow motion from the inside. The cause was a taurine hole in the food. And the eyes go too. Without taurine, the retina degenerates cell by cell, a creeping blindness from the edges in. Here's the detail that should chill you. This was happening in normal commercial cat food, food made by companies with laboratories, and nobody caught it until the autopsies piled high enough to demand an answer. That's how invisible this kind of starvation is. The cat looks fine, the cat purrs, the heart is quietly stretching itself to death. Now, go back and picture the bag with the leaf on it, formulated by a brand that thinks beans are a love language, and ask yourself how confident you feel about its taurine math. Everything so far has had a fuse on it. The furnace eats the muscle over weeks, the heart sags over a year, the eyes dim a ring at a time.
slow enough that you might not see it until the damage is signed and notarized.
This next one doesn't give you that. This one can kill in an afternoon. It's about arginine, an amino acid. And arginine has one job that turns out to be load-bearing. Every time a body digests protein, it produces ammonia as exhaust, and ammonia is poison. There's a cleanup cycle in the liver that grabs the ammonia and wraps it into a safe little package the body can flush. Arginine is the part that starts that cycle. No arginine on hand, no cleanup, and the ammonia just stacks up in the blood. You can stockpile arginine for a while. We can't. Morris and Rogers showed it again, this time in Science in 1978, and the finding is genuinely alarming. A cat fed a single meal that's high in protein but missing arginine doesn't get sick over months. The ammonia floods in, the cleanup never starts, and within hours, the cat is staggering, drooling, convulsing, and can slide into a coma. One bad meal, not a slow decline, an emergency the same day.
So, tally where we are. The body burns itself for fuel. A vitamin it can't manufacture, a fat it can't finish, a heart molecule it can't store, and now a poison it can't clear without a specific brick that only meat reliably hands it. 5 separate trapdoors, any one of them lethal, all of them stacked under a bowl of peas. And every single one of these is something your body just quietly handles, which is the exact thing that makes you sure your cat can handle it too. So far, I've been calling these deficiencies, like gaps, like missing pieces. Time to correct myself, because that word lets you off too easy. These aren't holes that drifted into the genome by accident. We threw the equipment out on purpose.
In 2005, in PLOS Genetics, Xiao Li and the team at the Monell Chemical Senses Center went looking for the cat's sweet taste receptor, the gene called TAS1R2, the one nearly every mammal carries so it can taste sugar and chase it. They found ours. And they found it broken. Not damaged recently. A defunct gene, riddled with deletions, switched off and left to rot across the whole cat family, from the house cat snubbing your bowl to the lion on the savannah. Sit with that. A cat cannot taste sweet. The entire flavor that runs your bakeries and your sodas, the reward your tongue treats as a treasure, is a blank channel to us. We deleted the receptor because a pure meat eater has no use for finding ripe fruit, and evolution doesn't pay rent on equipment it never plans to use. That's the turn. This isn't a body that almost manages on plants and falls a little short. This is a body that read the plant-eating job description, laughed, and shredded the application. The sugar sensor, the vitamin factory, the fat editor, the protein dimmer switch, all repossessed and recycled. We didn't fail to evolve for plants. We evolved hard in the other direction and burned the bridge behind us. Wow, the comment you're already typing. My neighbor's cat has been vegan for years, and it's perfectly fine. I hear you. There's even a study you can wave at me. In 2023, in PLOS One, Andrew Knight ran a large survey on vegan cats, and the headlines reported the vegan cats as healthy, sometimes healthier. I'm not going to insult you by pretending it doesn't exist. I'm going to tell you what it actually is. It was a survey of owners. The data is what the humans reported about their own pets, the same humans who chose the diet and rather badly want to be right. Nobody opened the cats up. Nobody put the hearts on a monitor.
Whoa! Fine to me is precisely the report you'd have filed on every taurine cat in the 1980s, right up until the autopsies arrived. The cat looking fine is not evidence. It's the symptom. And here's the quiet part. The vegan diets that don't kill the cat are the ones spiked with synthetic taurine, synthetic arginine, synthetic vitamin A, and arachidonic acid. Every molecule I just walked you through manufactured in a lab and stirred back in. So the food is plant-based right up until the part where it isn't, where it's secretly carrying the exact meat chemistry it claimed to leave behind. It's meat with the face filed off.
You took the animal out of the bag and then paid extra to put the animal's chemistry back in powder. Congratulations!
You've reinvented a worse, costlier version of the thing your cat was screaming for at the fridge. So let's go back to that bowl from this morning. The one with the leaf on it, the one your cat sniffed once and walked away from. You thought you were watching a fussy little animal turn up its nose at a perfectly nice meal. You weren't. You were watching 10,000 years of negotiation get violated, and the other party decline politely. Because there was a contract. We came in from the cold a very long time ago, sat ourselves near your grain stores, killed your mice, and let you fall hopelessly in love with us. And in exchange, you agreed to keep the meat coming. That was the deal. That was always the deal. And now a website with a soft green logo has talked you into breaking it. Not out of cruelty, out of love, which is somehow worse because you keep doing it and feel virtuous the whole time, while the furnace eats the muscle and the heart stretches thin and the body quietly disassembles itself in the kitchen, purring so as not to alarm you. We are an apex predator that loses a fist fight to a cucumber. We are also a creature that will starve to death, too proud to make a scene about it. So feed your cat meat. Not because the blog is wrong about the planet, because your cat signed nothing, and the body in your kitchen cannot file an appeal. Listen, and notice what just happened here. You came in worried you were being a fussy pet's pushover, and you got the entire blueprint, the genome, the heart, the contract, start to finish, from one of us. Hello. Since you sat through all of it, let me run the move on you the honest way for once. Hit that like button, because it tells the machine to show this to the next human about to pour their cat a bowl of sand. And subscribe, because every week I hand you one more piece of how we've been running your house since before you had a house. Pin's mine, bowl's mine. You're doing great.